Okay, so next up is a little startup called Turfly. And Nicholas and Tyler are going to show us what they've been working on. When you're ready, come on.
Hi everyone. 79% of Americans do not meet the CDC guidelines on physical activity. Why is this important? Because 1 death in 10 worldwide is caused by inactivity. That's more than tobacco. Now, there are many companies who are trying to address this problem. There's devices like Fitbit, great gizmos, but 75% of them end up in a drawer after 3 months. There's apps like Runkeeper, but those apps target people who are already convinced that they must exercise, and they are already engaged with that. Now, we are, at Turfly, we're targeting the 79% of the other people who need a little bit of incentive to start exercising. So as you can see from our numbers, we have very good engagement, and our user community is growing very quickly. And how did that happen? Well, we started with a clean slate of looking at a device everyone carries in their pocket, the mobile phone, and as we plug in, and working on establishing healthy habits, daily habits.
This comes up. So that was a hard act to follow, by the way. All right, so this is Turfly. I want to show you something really quick about it. One of the coolest things about Turfly is that it works automatically in the background, tracking all of your walks and runs around town. And what you get are some notifications just telling you when you complete a walk or run. And we have this crazy high engagement because the map is always changing, and you're getting notifications telling you how that's changing. So let's just take a look at how that map looks. So this is my turf map. You can see we have 4 different states of turfs. The idea here really is to cover the entire map in blue, and I'm obviously not doing that well with only the 2 that you can see there, but this is what it looks like. So I've captured this turf here. As we move up, you can see that I'm tied here with turf or tie for this turf, and so I'm going to target those red turfs because it's easier to capture those ones. This is a turf where he's beating me. There's also scouted turfs, and scouted turfs are really cool because you can scout all of your friends' turfs around the world. So I have turfs that I can see in Germany, in Barcelona, and Paris. And that just helps you like connect with your friends a little bit better. Of course, you can see how you're doing over time. You know, here's my today and yesterday, and we've designed some achievements that are specific to Turfly, different from, say, Runkeeper. That really helps to reinforce the behaviors that we're looking for, which is just to get off the couch and take a small step forward and just get out there and walk a little bit. Of course, the entire fabric of competition is based on friends, so we've made it as easy as possible to add friends through Facebook and Twitter, as well as a special nearby turfers feature. So you can see that these people are nearby me, and Hungry Belly app, for example, has 26% turf overlap with me. So that's a measure of not only competition, but also an indicator of how much potential serendipity there might be with this person. So maybe I'll run into them at the bus stop or at the grocery store. We have an activity feed, and you're going to be able to see your, we're running out of time here. So you can see that, how you're doing, your friends' turfs as well, and give them a little kudos and sort of see how they're doing and where they're potentially taking over your turfs. All right, Nicolas, wrap this up.
Okay, so we're a team of 3 founders, experienced developers, and entrepreneurs. We've started between us 9 companies, raised over $6 million in VC funding, and we've had successful exits. We're raising a small seed round right now. We're ready to take some investment. And I will, it's getting a little hard with that, sorry about that. So, we're raising a small seed round in order to make our product even more addictive and viral, and to get to 1 million users, and to become the #1 casual fitness app.
Can I start with a question first? So how there are a lot of step and mapping apps out there that are designed to get people out and about, right? So how do you compete with the likes of a Breeze or a Fitbit or a Jawbone that are gamifying steps?
Right. So a lot of these apps focus on performance. So you track steps, you track calories. It's all about performance. And when you don't perform, it's more like tracking your despair. We're not, as you saw, you just get points by walking. It's not an idea of where are you in your performance today. We're really just making it engaging and social. So you have a few minutes, you go around the block, you get a few points and a few turf, and then your spouse or your friends can see that and say, oh, they're catching up. So it's taking the focus away from exercising, which can be boring, and tracking performance, which can lead to anxiety and the reverse effect.
Just an expansion on that. Do you see either a partnership opportunity or competition from Ingress?
Ingress is a great game. I don't know if how many of you know, but you play the game by walking around too. But it's more about, I call it more of a nerdy game. People drive to go and do their actions within that. Our app, you can only play by walking or running, so we use the accelerometer to make sure that you're actually doing that. And we think we have a much wider audience, being not only gamers, but anyone who knows they should exercise a little bit more, but are just looking for motivation.
I really like the discovery of people who are similar as a way to sort of create social connections. I'm curious, do you have an idea of turning it into more like a dating or a friend sort of connection thing, and then long-term after monetization?
Two questions really. We certainly want to add more social features, including all the things that people like to do, but keep it within the bounds of what we're doing, which is it's geography based, so it's about the place you're at and getting there. And your second question was about monetization. At this time, we're growing our user base, and we're not focusing on monetizing it. But when we do, we'll be looking at in-app purchases as well as location-aware advertising.
Hi, this is a bit of a targeted question. So a friend of mine just told me about this thing called detour.com where they can kind of walk around and get like a history tour of certain parts of the city as they walk. I was just wondering, do you guys have any like links to specific, like, I don't know, like provide people with some sort of either information or context or something about the specific area where they are, given that you're tracking the location?
Yeah, we have some really interesting ideas about how we can specifically improve the experience for people who are really into exploration versus like some of the other more competitive or achievement-oriented aspects. There's a really cool company called Atlas Obscura. Do you know them? They have this huge database of really interesting, obscure places around the world, and we'd love to, say, for example, tap into that and really sort of drive home that exploration feature. We also would love to do more user-generated content, photos, and interesting things. I mean, there's a lot of ways that we can tie all of the location and social things together for this when people are already out there doing it.
Hi. I was wondering, kind of like to the same question, Are you guys planning to do anything at South by? Because
Yeah.
it sounds like we should
Interesting you mentioned that. Yes. We'll probably be at South by.
along the same lines as what you just answered to this question.
Wait.
Like the discovery, history of stuff that you're looking at.
Yeah. Oh, so you mean do it for specifically South by?
Yes.
Okay.
Or did I
It's
just
an
give
interesting
you
idea.
an idea?
We can talk later if you want.
I won't even charge you.
Hands up high.
Any other questions?
Well, it sounds like your app is running in the background of the phone at all times, and my concern with that would be the battery drain and the data usage. If the GPS is on, especially if it's location-based, is that something that you take into account or that you've optimized or made easier for consumers?
Excellent question. We've actually spent a lot of time on battery usage, and we've developed our internal IP to minimize that. There's other apps that use the GPS a lot, and they tend to drain the battery. We found that with our app, with all the optimization we're doing, we're spending about 1/3 of the amount of energy that these other apps are doing. Why can we do this? Is that we're really optimized for walking and running, and there's modes of interaction and tricks that we did, and we also leverage iOS features.
We're unfortunately out of time, but you're hanging out for a little while, right? So
Yes.
folks want to find you?
We're here, and you have
Here.
stickers on your yeah. Please download the app and add us as friends.
Awesome. Certainly.